Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our podcast, Ontario 644. My name is Garrett Ryan, and I'll be moderating. The way this podcast works is that we have a variety of different topics that we're going to run down, and we're probably going to end up sidetracking and talking about pretty much just generic things. So, without further ado, I guess we'll just jump right into it. So, welcome to the very first episode of Ontario 644. Okay, so to start off, there's how many people here?
A lot.
People are laughing.
There's a lot of people here that are all laughing. So to start off, we're going to go around and everyone's going to say something and say one thing that they're good at and say their name
And why they're here.
and why they're here and how they ended up here.
That's too many things.
No, just say one thing, just so we can get to know what your voice is. Because there's going to be a lot of us talking, so at least you have a general idea. So let's go around this way. I don't know lefts or rights or counterclockwise versus clockwise, so go that way.
Hello, my name is Brody Hawkinson. I am from Chisholm.
No one knows that.
Now they do.
People in the U.S. who are listening right now.
They know.
That's
who
for
he
you.
is.
Let's
They
see
know
what-
who he is. Trust me.
My name is Patrick Delisle. I'm not from Chisholm.
My name is Timothy Collins Squire, and my name is more of a mouthful in my attitude, believe it or not.
My name is Matt Lishman, and I like to dabble in things.
What?
Mysterious. Ooh.
My name is Emily Houghton, and I am married to Hello Kitty. Oh!
My name is Nick Vogel, and this is my voice. Hello, hello.
That was a good one.
My name is Tanis Lembrecht, and I'm really good at laughing.
She's very good at laughing.
Like,
Also,
gotta
a
keep going.
warning, Tanis may start going off into a laughing fit.
We're not hurting her.
In which case, yeah, she's not in pain, but we may have to send her away to her room. And
We all live together.
to her
It's a frat
space.
house.
We all live together. Now we do.
Oh, and
That was the condition that you
We're
were.
never leaving.
So yeah, she might have to leave at some point, and that's what that is. She's not choking.
I promise.
It's not like we're just ignoring a choking.
You never know.
So
Sometimes we do.
to start off, we have kind of we had a list of topics that we kind of were going through today, and to start off, we have something that's sort of it's just a question. I don't know.
Provocative.
It's not sort of a question. It's just a question.
It's only half a question.
No. So basically, it goes like this: if you had to only be able to keep your past memories, or erase all those memories and only remember from the future, which would you do? So, the first option, you're keeping everything from the past, all your memories that you have, but you can't remember further on. The second option is losing every memory you've ever had, but only being able to remember further on.
Lose all the memories and then be the star of a really cool thriller novel.
What? No.
That's not an option.
That's not one of the options.
Trace down the
Yes.
tattered remains of your
Okay.
past.
So
Exactly.
does everyone understand the question?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
All right, so
I'm sorry,
general opinions.
I think both options are horrible.
I thought you were gonna say I think I choose both.
They're
I choose to not have
I'll
memories.
just do none.
You're
Keep all
You're
mine.
gonna be a vegetable.
She already
All
is.
my
Vegetative
memories.
state.
Am I allowed to say the
Say what?
vegetable?
What?
I feel like that's
Yes.
not political.
So, okay.
As no one
It's not a
personally.
racial slur, is it?
Yes.
So wait, you wouldn't remember anything of your past.
No, you lose every memory of your
Okay,
past.
then no, I would definitely keep my past memories.
But then
So
you
then
can't
you can't
retain any
remember
memory.
And how do
So for the rest of your life,
from
you're
the
not.
point you make the decision
That's fine.
back.
You're basically dead.
Seriously?
Wait,
She's
I would
pretty much-
forget all about
It's basically
my hobbies.
you're the character from 50 First
Well,
Dates.
that
or
would
whatever
suck. You would
the-
basically start over.
Oh,
Yes.
I go
that's
against.
sad.
I go
What?
against what she said because I would like to lose all my past memories because technically I'd be the same person, right? You'd have same personality. You'd pretty
Well.
much gain all your past interests and hobby. It might be a little different, but
I
Well,
know.
you
I know. For me, though, that I've had specific life events that have changed me to make me have the hobbies that I do.
Yeah.
Because I used to be interested in a lot of
I
different
agree.
things, and
Then
I
you
don't know if I would
became
end
me.
up
I would
like
lose
that.
all
Then I
my
became
hobbies.
Brody.
I would lose every single
Yeah,
thing
because
that
we
I
learn
did.
from experience. Like,
Exactly.
I feel like I would go with losing all of your past memories because while it does affect a change on you, not having those memories and experiences, some people kind of really need that. And I think, hey, a new start would be really cool.
But like
And
that's
what
a
can I
little
do?
bit more than a new start. That's like
Yeah.
For me,
that's like a
Yeah, but I guess it depends
Like you'd
on the...
be like you'd lose it. I mean, I don't know. Never mind.
okay, you can go.
Well, if looking at it from the 51st dates perspective, she's still,
The classic
oh
philosophical
my
51st
God.
dates argument.
I love Adam Sandler.
and she still manages
movie?
to live and
Wait,
fall in
someone
love. which
She
is
does,
good.
but if you think about the
Yeah.
ending of that movie, in which he puts a videotape in front of her, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
he puts a videotape in front of her that basically catches her up on where she is in
Yeah.
her life and that she's married to a complete stranger. That feels a little sick to me, because she's basically waking up and 20 years has passed and just like, by the way, we're married. Like, that just
Yeah.
kind of, why would he, it feels like he's taking her away from her safe life for his own selfish gain.
I'd love to know what point in your life you'd ever have to make that decision. What would have to happen for
I just
If
feel
you
like
met a really angry wizard.
Hey,
hate
if you had to choose only your memories, and what voice is this?
from New York.
Wizards of
Um,
Struggle and Quentin
I just
Anger.
feel like
The
I
New
mean
York
obviously
Wizard.
obviously it'd be different for everyone, but like personally for me, I've made so much progress since I was
Yes.
younger that I wouldn't want to lose the progress that I've made
No, I
by
agree.
forgetting everything. Yeah, like me and Nick, you know.
For me,
They're
it's
lovers.
they're
Sure.
basically
From another.
what
We
I
both
like.
love Hello Kitty.
Literally, what I want to do with my life is based off like specific events that have brought me into like being able to enjoy movies and being able to enjoy theater and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was not just me being born with it, and because I do remember like the specific point in where I started watching movies and getting involved with theater and stuff like that. So the chances of that happening again would
I
be
know,
kind
and
of.
Could
I feel like
you?
And it wasn't like an
prepare?
instant. It wasn't an
No.
instant love either. It was like, okay, I guess I'll
yeah,
do this.
and now I'm married to my hobbies. Like I am,
Mhm.
I am fully
Married to
committed to them, and
Hello
I've made so much
Yeah.
progress
Could
that I
you-
wouldn't
could
want to
you-
lose them.
Could you
You could be like a
prepare for
fanboy
that
about the whole
event?
thing.
Like, someone's like, in a week, you're gonna lose all your memories. Could you go and, like, write yourself something and be like, oh yeah, this is who you are?
But then what if that stuff's
Oh.
like I don't
Well, then you get to be someone else.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wouldn't
and
wanna be
another
someone
thing,
else.
Yeah, but you
Well, you
lost
don't
all
know
your
that.
memories.
this also kind of,
So it doesn't matter.
in my opinion, goes also in kind of the subject of reincarnation, because I always argued that being reincarnated, some people are like, oh, awesome, you get to live another life. But then I argue that you are you based off your experiences. So by being reincarnated, you have the same soul or whatever, but that's not who you are.
Yeah,
because
you're not
you
aware.
think
you're
based off what has happened to you, and it would be the same thing as if you lost all your memories. You wouldn't be you anymore. So what
Watch
says
Cloud
you
Atlas.
wouldn't even think the
That's
same?
it.
Yeah, but with
Computer.
reincarnation, on some level, you still have those experiences and memories.
Yes.
Wait, when you're
So what?
reincarnated, you don't remember?
Just-
Some
What?
do you remember?
Do you remember?
That kind of deals into the concept of deja vu. Is kind of
Yes.
some people
Oh,
say
yeah.
it's based off
Yeah.
I have
reincarnation,
a
but
thing
you don't remember. Tannis is very excited
I
to say
went-
something.
to a psychic, okay?
Interesting.
Moaning because
Get
everyone
out.
else is.
Legitimate.
I went to a psychic and she said,
Certified.
I almost drowned in one of my past lives.
Oh,
And I
which
don't-
psychic? Maybe it's when I no my psychic friends.
See,
Oh, shit.
But
Yeah.
Tannis, here's the thing. I almost drowned in my life.
Oh,
Maybe
No,
you
I,
but-
when Patrick died.
Whoa, reincarnated into the
right
same.
about certain things so
timeline.
far.
Patrick died like way in the future from now, and Tannis was reincarnated at the same time as like Patrick was born originally. So they both exist at the same time.
But the
So
same
right now
soul.
we're Patrick.
There's a theory
Don't do
that
this
that's
to me,
true,
guys.
but there's only
Maybe
one
that's what
person,
soulmates
and they
is.
just
Yes.
live
I
every
think I'm
life
just
in the
afraid if I
world.
Egg theory.
forgot my memories
Egg
or
theory.
whatever, I
Fuck
wouldn't
that.
be interested in the same
Me
things.
too.
And then that's the thing is that I'm so happy with the
Are we
things that
past
I'm so happy with the things that I've found right now that I feel like if I lost all my memories, then I could just start over and not be as happy as I am right now.
Exactly,
You know
and I
what I
feel
mean?
like that's the very possible thing that could happen.
So you're arguing keeping your memories, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then how would
Yeah, but okay.
if we so drama, right? Okay, so is it like you learn stuff one day and then you just forget it the next day? Is it like that?
Yes.
Because so what? How would you learn minds?
Oh,
would-
How would
just
you do that stuff? If
ju-
you,
But you can still be like,
You
I
wouldn't-
don't have to be in a show.
She
I
can
could
be in,
still
like,
be
1 minute
interested in
commercial.
things
Oh,
I'm
this is
interested in.
you can
Yeah,
still be
but the-
involved and
okay.
still think the way you think.
just to
That's still
preface,
scary.
just to preface, we are all drama students. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
that's why.
Okay, here's the thing. it depends though on what day you keep, like on what day you start not having memories anymore. Because if you ended off on a bad day, like maybe you're super depressed this day, you're basically in hell for the rest of your life.
That's true.
Which is something
You wake up every morning and your last memory
So
would
just
be
meet the
really
angry
shitty
wizard
day.
on a
you
good
can
day.
never improve yourself. You're always on the same plane.
That's also a thing. There's no room for growth. And
So again, if you can prepare, you just have to wait till you're having a really, really good day and be like, I'm
everything
done.
you-
Yeah.
I want my memory.
That's
I
also
want...
another
But then-
reason why
Yeah,
I say
and that's the thing. We don't know if the question
But then-
allows preparation.
Humans are so guilty. You would have such a good day, but you can be like, oh well, maybe tomorrow I'll have a better day. And so, what if you go the next day, then it ends up being a bad day, then you lose all your memories again.
And
It's just a
Even you
weird...
won't remember the bad day. Every morning you'll wake up being like, wow, yesterday was great.
But then,
That's true.
Yeah.
to go on what Brody said, like if you had a week to prepare, you would do all of like the best things that you wanted to do for that week. But then the last day, you'll realize like these are the last memories that I'm gonna have, and you'll feel like, I don't know, depending on the person, but a lot of people will feel depressed. Like these are the last memories I'm gonna have, and I didn't get to do like all this stuff, and then you'll just be in.
Going
stress.
back to Freud's 50 First Dates
Oh,
argument.
Yeah.
This is a different situation because she was kind of. If you're going to be basing off that movie, she was kind of content with her life because she wasn't aware that her memories were erased. And in our case, then we will know that, oh, I won't remember any of this when you're doing stuff, and that kind of feels like you would be depressed after a while.
And also,
I
okay,
killed
I'll
a
let Terrence go because
wizard.
she's been like dying for like 4 minutes
Well,
here.
I want to go off on what Patrick said because, and it kind of what Brody said earlier, because Brody said it would be like you were dead, and it's like if you know the date of your actual death, which would be like one of the most horrible things, because then you're just kind of dreading.
I don't know
your
about
Achieve
that.
death.
I feel like it would be though.
Well, it would be at first, but then you would eventually accept it,
Yeah.
and then you would
I think I just
try to live your life as best as you can. There's so many movies about that, like it's ridiculous.
And-
Stop
and
making movies like that.
Just as a last thing, like this analogy is gonna sound really weird, but it's like getting spoiling yourself on a movie. Like you go to the last or like of a book, you go to the last page and you realize like X person dies, and then you start the book and you realize this person's gonna die throughout. A lot of people, they're not gonna like that. They'll just put the book down because they know like, oh crap, that person dies. A lot of other people, me included, will read that book still just see like all the like nuances that made it so that person would die.
I agree. I've got a lot of
That's-
things spoiled for me that I've gone.
There's
What
also,
I would do if I really enjoyed a book that much, I would read it, find out he dies, like spoiler free, then read it again to see his path.
There's a book called Machine of Death, which is about a machine that tells you how you'll die, but it doesn't say when, and it could be really vague. So it could just be like a car. And you're like, oh great, I'm going to die because of a car.
Then you probably
And
will,
you
because your
don't-
brain's gonna be like,
That's
I'm
like
dying.
Final
Yeah, and
Destination
you don't
shit.
know when or exactly what's gonna happen, but you know a car will be involved with your death.
What if you tripped over a dinky car and then smacked your head and then just died?
Or
Exactly.
a guy with
Like
a
that's
wild
still
car.
technically
Exactly.
part of a car, but yeah.
Okay.
Should we move on to the?
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is before I go into this topic, I was looking up things we could talk about today, and I found a weird fact that you guys have probably heard, but I just want to say this anyway because it was really strange.
That Brody's from Chisholm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Found
it
it
is.
on the internet.
found on the internet.
It will be soon.
Tim, his name is Tim Price, but it's no, not. There's a guy named Tim Price that legally changed his name so the word price has like 15 P's at the beginning of it, and he did this specifically because telemarketers pissed him off so much, and he wanted to screw with them because his name to make it hard to pronounce. So it's spelt with just a bunch of P's and then rice.
There's a couple in Sweden I think Sweden, I might be wrong, but there was a couple, and wherever they were living put laws against naming your kids certain things, and
Well,
so
you can get
in
sued for
protest
that.
they named their kid John, but it's spelled with like 50 letters. Just
Oh, and it's
because
pronounced
it's
John?
yeah, it's perfectly
Well,
legal. but just a protest that some names are restricted and that they can name their kids.
That's sad because they
Poor
kids gonna
child.
keep
Did
them.
you-
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing is that they can actually get sued now in a lot of places, the parents, because there was one case where the parents named their daughter something like it was like a huge
Shit.
thing, like something Hannah Hula is on
Oh,
Honolulu.
Tallulah does the hula from Hawaii.
Yeah, and they actually got
That's
sued.
supposed to be
They got
talking about.
sued. So
That's a ghost
the
talking.
kid can sue their parents for naming them that because you shouldn't force your kid to like.
Yeah, but you can
Go on
change
that
your
way.
name.
That's really
I'm just
strange.
only-
The court probably made them
There's
change
another
the name.
voice in this
It's fine.
room.
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh.
so that wasn't really a
Anyways.
topic. That was just a pretty much generic thing. Our next,
Totally generic.
it was just a fact. Our next topic. I don't know if I want to get into another philosophical thing right now. So we can skip. We can skip over to the philosophical thing after, but let's get into. Patrick suggested that we talk about telephone scams, and I don't know what that means.
We're relying on him.
We're relying on
Oh,
Patrick to tell a good story about
I hope
telephone
they're-
scams.
This is your captain speaking.
You're not my captain.
Oh, that
This is a
That-
scam.
that
Captain,
ad.
my captain.
Oh,
Alright, so
great film.
yeah, what?
Dead Poet Society.
Yeah.
Ah.
Alright, so it was like 4 days ago or something, and we got a phone call, and my
Who's
dad,
we?
me and my family.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Me
of
and the
us.
7 ghosts that live in my house.
No, we are the family.
We are. Oh.
No, sorry. Continue.
Hi, Mom.
I killed your story.
I just want to hear the story.
Alright,
let's do
so my dad answers the phone, and there's a guy on the other end of the phone, and he's like, "Hello, I'm from tech support," and my dad was like, "All right, what tech support?"
Oh, that kind of scam.
Yeah, and the guy was like, "Oh, I'm tech support for your computer." It's like, "What computer? The one in your house?
Oh.
Which one?" And that doesn't matter, but we need to you have a virus on your computer, and we need to check it out. So you just need to give us all your information. And I was like, "Which computer?" And they said, "Your computer." It's like, I have a laptop. I have a
So it's
desktop.
almost like they were trying to steal your identity.
Yeah, no, they
wow.
were trying to get like something off of him. I don't really know because they're
They-
idiots.
I've
You
heard
just
of
wanted his
something
name.
like that. I don't know if it's the same thing, but they get you to install what they call an antivirus on
Oh,
the
yeah.
computer, and it's not.
It's the exact
It's
opposite.
a-
But
That's
that's
about it. It's not an antivirus.
As soon as you
literally
give
the
anyone
opposite
your
of that.
social security number, you're fucked. Like,
Yeah, well.
because they have all your information from
Don't
there.
give people
And
your
then-
social security.
Over the
numbers.
phone.
So
ever.
so my dad said, "Are you talking about my Mac?" And the guy was like, "Yes, we're from the security firm for Microsoft, and we need to check your Mac." And
What?
That doesn't make any
by
sense.
then,
First mistake.
by then, my dad already knows this is a scam because
Yeah.
he's a pretty smart guy, and he's
You don't
going,
have to be
Yeah.
that smart.
you don't need to be that smart.
He's in the
And
military.
so he's just been he's just been playing with them for like the last like 2 minutes of talking, and so he just goes on a tangent to them, and they have they're still listening, and he's just saying like how can Mac and Microsoft work together? They're two completely different companies, and the dude started to get angry at him. It's like, you don't need to worry about that. We just need to get onto your computer and we need to like do X and Y stuff. And so my dad hung up. But like, come on, people. I'm gonna talk to the people who make these scams.
Fuck off.
No, I don't care about that.
But you
I
feel
just
like
want
there'd
you.
be a
I want you to
smarter way
learn.
do it.
I want you to be able to actually like figure out how to do a good scam.
Yeah, okay,
just
like,
I'm
here's
here
the
to
thing.
help you.
Here's the thing. If I were to do this scam, not saying I would, but this
You
is
would.
giving me some ideas. If I were to, I would probably find an IP address, find out exactly what computer is, actually hack into that computer, look at the specs and stuff, so I can call the person that's like on that IP address and actually tell them your computer is wrong, and they're like, what
Yeah.
computer? And I tell them what computer it is. Don't just blindly call a number and be
Yeah,
like,
basically
your computer.
educate
Something's
See,
broken
like-
in your house.
If you're gonna fucking
I need to come in
scam
and
me-
fix it for thousands of dollars.
If you're gonna scam me,
Phone calls come
frankly,
from
I'm gonna be
outside.
insulted if you don't try and do it well.
Exactly.
Like, at least try and know your shit.
I've
before
always
you-
wanted to scam
steal
someone
my
back
stuff.
that's trying to scam me.
Yeah.
Oh,
if-
yeah.
Well, first
if-
you have to tell me your
Actually, I'm
credit
trying to
card.
fix you.
I got in a really nice conversation with a robot that added me on Skype and tried to solicit me for sex, and it was
Oh my
totally
God.
pleasant
Only
conversation
really?
that I
A
had.
robot?
Yes.
Was it him?
I love
This one.
It was advertising from some website, and I just got in a really nice conversation. But then like 50 of them added me, and they all have the same profile picture. I'm like, at least have different pictures.
If you're
Wait,
You're all the same
how did they
person.
try to solicit you for sex? What did they say?
They
Can I?
I think
were
that would
being
be
all
pretty
nice.
nice
They were like, "Oh yeah,
conversation.
you should come check out this website." And I was like,
Pretty
Oh.
nice
"Nah."
conversation. Nah.
Can I show my picture now?
Well, wait, I just
Okay.
if you are gonna scam us, like I'm not fine with
I'm
scam.
fine with that.
I'm fine
I
with that.
completely
Take my money.
But if I get scammed, I want to like by the end of it, I want to have like no money and be like, okay, these people knew what they were doing.
These are
I'm fucked out of my
geniuses.
life,
Take my
but they
money.
knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah, I want
I
to be
am
like
proud of
that's
them.
impressive.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna make
proud
a
that
movie
Their
about that.
parents succeeded.
Exactly.
They Walter Whited that shit.
Yeah.
If you try to scam us, make sure you can make a damn good movie out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That should be the general philosophy.
Catch me if
Yeah. Okay.
Catch me if you can.
Oh.
Will you have a picture?
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
picture, yeah.
Matt has a picture,
Okay.
which I'm not
And
sure how
he's
it's going to
gonna
translate
show
to.
through the
Well,
It's not going to
podcast.
translate to
They'll
podcast.
understand.
It
We'll
might
just take
casually
each
be
picture.
Apparently,
showing
he
us.
promises that you'll understand, so we'll see.
Okay,
We
so
Take each
yesterday.
pixel and just speak in hexadecimal for each pixel, just in rows. And
Would you go
just
left to right?
And
or
like it's like a
top to
funny
bottom?
picture, and they talk for like an hour. And it's
Yeah.
like, ha!
I get it.
Oh, and just before we get, have you guys heard of the
That's my phone.
That's terrifying.
Is it?
I thought people were caroling
Yeah,
outside.
at the window.
Nah, nah.
It's
we
May,
we
by
are
the
the
way.
epitome of professional people.
They come.
Okay, go take it in your room.
Go to the
And
This is
don't
my
leave
jam.
through that door.
Alright.
Or do.
Have you?
Anyway, okay, what's your picture?
Okay, so there's a bit of a story before. So yesterday, my friend called me up and he's like, "You want to play Modern Warfare 3?" I'm like, "Okay, just let me find my headset." I'm going through my things and I find my headset, but it's broken. Like the headpiece is off, and it's just the earpiece and the mic. And I tested it out; it still worked, but I needed to figure out a way to keep it on my head. So I tried taping it, and then nothing worked. So I thought of this brilliant idea. It was actually brilliant. I found. Okay, first I'll show them the picture.
Show them.
It's the inside joke that no one will get when they're listening.
That's funny. Next topic. No.
Oh, what?
Okay, so what I did was I found my hockey helmet, and I had to weave the cord through the earpiece, and it actually stayed on my face and stayed on my ear. So I was playing at Xbox for like 2 hours with the hockey helmet on. My parents come downstairs. My dad looks at me and he's like, "You're fucking
strange."
and just walked back upstairs.
Ouch.
Yeah. It was,
And that's when I ran away from home.
yeah,
And that's when I disowned myself.
Now I
Moved in here.
Now I live here at Ontario 644.
Now we're gonna get comments on the podcast. Like, guys, that was really
Yeah.
That was
too
insensitive.
far, insensitive.
And the R word.
What
Yeah.
what is socially acceptable?
Okay,
in this
nothing.
paper?
Nothing.
Nothing,
these
okay?
days.
By the way, my father is not, like, he's not a jerk by any means because
He
Just
doesn't
on that
hit
day.
me.
know
He's
my-
just not
Thinks you're an
politically
idiot.
correct.
No,
That's
he's just,
it.
it was in the comfort of his own home. He doesn't actually, yeah, no, well, let's just keep going.
Okay.
You're digging
so-
yourself a hole.
Our
Your
next
father.
topic is I have a thing written down on my handy list of topics. One of them says 60-year war, which I don't know what that is, but I'm not gonna do that.
Probably
because I
a
have no
war
idea
that
what
happened
it is.
for 60 years.
So oh no, I know what that is. I know what that is.
Technically,
It's not even a
Afghanistan.
topic I want to do. I don't know why it's written down here. But just I found it really cool that North Korea and South Korea are still technically at war.
Yeah.
And they have like a building where they just sit there with guns and stare at each other.
Mhm.
They've been like at war for 60 years, but they don't fight. They just look at each other with
That
guns.
sounds like me and most of my friends.
But
Ah.
should we do?
Sad.
Left brain and your right brain. are
Okay,
at war with
so-
each other.
Here's another. Should I? Do you want another problem, like a decision, or do you want a just kind of
General topic.
Okay.
We don't like
okay.
Something fun.
This
choosing
one's.
things.
This is not going to be fun.
Oh, great.
So
Let's see.
on the topic of dreams.
Oh,
dreams.
yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
Recently,
I'm dreaming.
Patrick and I have been trying to figure out how to lucid dream with totems. And if you're not familiar with totems,
Or
that's
lucid dreaming.
from Inception.
Explain lucid
It
dreaming.
is a valid concept.
Some
Okay.
people
Oh,
don't
in
know
case
what
you don't know what lucid dreaming is, it's basically dreaming and being aware you're dreaming, so you can control your surroundings and what happens in
Fly.
the dream. Fly. But
Always fly.
we've been trying to lucid dream with totems, which basically means we have an object that works differently in the dream versus in reality. So I use a pocket watch, and in reality, if I'm looking at it, obviously it's just gonna go normal. But in a dream, you're not gonna be able to see properly an analog time phase, so it's gonna be spinning backwards or abstract, and that's how I'm gonna tell if it's a dream. And then if I keep doing that on a regular enough basis in a dream, I'll eventually take it out and be like, oh, this is not a clock, this is a dream. And Patrick, you can explain.
And
yours.
for me, I don't know why I'm taking my totem out because you guys can't see it. But it's basically a rock that has meanings that I'm not going to get into because it would take way too long. And it's encased in like a bunch of metal, like just spirals that I made. And so the idea that I have is when I'm dreaming, the metal's going to change color because right now it's just like a normal like metallic gray metallic gray, and in the dream it's going to be like bronze or something. It hasn't happened yet, so I don't know what color it's going to be.
Is that your rock?
Yeah, it's my rock.
Ah, nice. I still have my rock. He's on my windowsill.
Yeah.
Oh, black? The black rock?
Yeah.
Mine wasn't black.
It's racist.
Racially
mine was
ambiguous rock.
shiny as hell. Mine was a baller.
Mine was
So-
ugly.
Basically, Patrick said this to me yesterday, and I thought it would be interesting to discuss.
Yeah.
What if I were to take out my pocket watch and look at it, and then it was spinning backwards, and I say, oh, well, I guess we're in a dream. But then Patrick is also here. Like, if this happened right now, if I looked at it and mine was spinning backwards, and then Patrick looked at his and his hadn't changed, then what does that mean?
The idea that I had, or that I came up with, is that Ryan... What?
No.
Mr. Ryan.
The other person in the room.
Mr. Ryan.
Technically,
One of
no,
the ghosts.
sorry.
Comes to my house, gets my name wrong.
I got your last name right. Says the one who spelled his name wrong, but that's for a different time. But...
What did I write? Oh, Garrett Ronnie.
pickles.
The idea that I had is that Garrett would be dreaming. Like, he would know that he's dreaming, and I would just be a figment of his imagination, either trying to make him think that he isn't dreaming, or if any of you guys have seen Inception, when Leonardo DiCaprio is telling the guy that they're doing Inception on that he's part of a dream and he's trying to make him realize that he's in a dream. It was like Mr. Charles or something. If anyone remembers that.
Like the first level of Inception?
I don't remember what it was.
When they're sitting at the bar?
Yes.
Yeah,
maybe.
that guy.
But it was. I'll just.
He's the younger guy, right?
But what happens is like they were in one of the layers of Inception, and the dream knew that there were other people in his dream, and so Leonardo DiCaprio's character went up to the guy that's creating the dream and basically told him, I am part of your dream, and I'm the figment of your imagination that you've trained to tell you when you're dreaming in case you get invaded by other people. And so he basically
Good
told him this.
synopsis.
Watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Mr. Charles.
So what you're saying is you would be that person to me.
Yeah, I would either be the person telling you you're dreaming and then like be your more or less protector, or I would be there to screw you up, to make you think that you weren't dreaming.
Aren't you here to screw us up?
No, I don't know.
I have a question though. Why is that significant though? If yours is doing the thing but his isn't,
Because
doesn't
then
that just mean that he's dreaming?
Well,
though?
what if it was happening right now?
Yeah.
And what would that mean?
But you would only.
Then nothing is
Wouldn't it be like you
Exactly.
would just be
Real.
How does it lie?
You
And
would
the-
just be dreaming this.
The
Wait,
thing is,
no.
I don't.
So
Or your
everyone
watch is
knows
broken.
it is
Me
nothing.
from my point of view, I'm not aware that any of you actually have
Broken watches don't work like that.
intelligence. For all I know, you are right
thanks,
now
Garrett.
figments of my imagination, just saying whatever. Because I can't. None of us can tell whether the other person has intelligence or not. So
We've all only been in our own heads.
Exactly.
Whoa, or have
Someone
we?
here could have realized they're dreaming but hasn't told anyone yet.
exactly.
That's a dick move.
We should find the door that leads into John.
Not
Okay, what if like somebody's dreaming like in China, but we're a part of their dream, like this
What a
entire
sick Chinese
world.
person is envisioning us doing a podcast.
And that's also a thing that.
Dennis, go to your room.
That's a thing that possibly could happen because we can't tell. Like if
What if we're
The
you
entire
don't know
universe
that right
could be
now that
someone's
I'm
dream.
thinking. I could
How
just
would
be
they
talking.
know we look the way we look like? How would they know that? Or would that just... Would we actually look like
Or
this
if we're in
this
like
was someone
a
else's
really
dream?
complex computer simulation, which
Me
Brody
and
was talking
Garrett-
about.
Oh,
once.
that could happen, yeah.
Me and Garrett discussed ones like it was last
isn't there
year
a
when
movie about that?
The
Jim
Matrix.
Carrey?
It's called The Matrix.
No, Jim
Not
Drew
Jim
Carey.
No,
Carrie is the happiness thing.
no, the one where he's
No, it's
stuck
not.
inside the city.
Happiness calculus?
No. Oh, the Truman Show.
Yeah, the Truman.
Oh, that's not really the same.
No,
but
it's
that's it.
different.
It's about a TV show, but
Your TV
It's
show.
his
No, it's
life.
not.
His
Is it
TV
It's a
show.
TV
His
show,
TV
yeah.
show is the life.
Yes.
Or is his life.
It's a
he's not
movie,
aware he's
but
in a
he-
TV show.
And they won't let him leave.
No, yeah. No, yes. I don't know why I said none of
Isn't
that.
that like a yeah?
You're
But
correct.
he doesn't know.
He's
doesn't
not
know.
no he's not like trying to leave and like, yeah, I'll be in the show. Like he's not aware that
Yeah, but
he's been raised.
Doesn't he find out? I've never seen the movie.
Why
Spoilers.
are we talking
about
Yeah,
Truman
let's
Show?
not.
That's-
Spoiling
What I was gonna
Oh
say is,
shit! Sorry.
I think it was last year. Oh,
No, that's for
oh,
you.
okay. We were talking about imagine if when you fall asleep and you start dreaming, that's actually you waking up
Oh yeah, that's
and starting
the real
that
world.
life,
Oh my
The
and then
world
this
is
is the
screwed up.
dream world. So technically, that's the wrong. That's
Wait,
wrong.
no, but the
My
I don't
dream is
know.
Yeah,
Real
technically the real thing is you don't have feet, which happens in dreams.
Yeah, it is.
Watches don't work.
You can't
No,
read.
You have
I don't-
extra
I don't
thumbs.
think-
You can't read.
You can't
Everyone's
read.
illiterate.
And timekeeping and feet
What is sad?
are
word?
not real.
I don't.
Or maybe things. Here's getting even crazier. If you're in a dream and this stuff is, and you're like, oh, in a dream you can't read or you can't. Maybe that's just this world convincing you that the other one is a dream. When
Yeah.
really none of that is actually happening.
Yeah.
Because you don't know your.
This world's evil.
You don't really know your memories are real, and memories are false, and that's a proven fact that your memories aren't
Oh
real.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because they alter depending on
Yeah.
mood or other things that have happened since then.
Any number of different biases.
And if you were in a dream, when you're in a dream, per se, in your actual dreams from this reality, you don't remember every single detail about this life. You just know it is a new life to you. So in this one,
Yeah.
you wouldn't exactly remember everything that happens in the other world. Or what if both of them are real?
I'll just line
I
up
think
in the
just
real.
switch
That's
into
the
another
thing.
universe.
I read a
and you
book
go to
called The
sleep.
13th Reality, and it was all about like a bunch of different realities that you can like go into.
Parallel universes that you
I
go
actually
into when
started
you
reading
sleep.
it, and then I got bored.
Oh my God.
Bioshock Infinite. Play the
Oh
game.
no!
Great.
So if
No, my mind can't handle it.
this world is real, and then also your dream world is real, that would mean that your dream world isn't consistent at all.
Well,
It's not consistent at all.
But is it?
can
Which
be.
is allowed.
see,
which is
That
allowed.
also plays off the concept of me saying you wouldn't remember it right.
But what if this world isn't consistent?
That's what.
It isn't.
Because how would we know
Well,
what
our
is
day-to-day life is consistent.
how
in a
would
way.
we know what is consistent in our dreams? Like
Exactly.
in
'Cause-
the alternate world, our consistent might not be
We're
that
only remembering.
world's consistent.
Oh,
and
that's
also,
right.
And also, you only really remember a very small percentage of your dreams. So what if all the other dreams are consistent, but the ones you remember are just off days? Because we always have days that are way different than the other days, but it only
Exactly.
happens like a couple times in your life.
Yeah, and you don't always remember your
That
dreams.
also
Yeah.
brings up
That's when it.
a lot of other sort of philosophical debates that this universe
Yeah.
has things like physics and causality and all of that, but that, according to most, science and most religions, was created at the start of the universe. So this dream world doesn't necessarily have to obey the laws of physics or the laws of causality or anything like that. So consistency is not not really relevant. It's relative.
Being
Jesus.
conscious in a nightmare would suck because just because you're conscious in a dream doesn't mean you have control. though.
Oh, then what
That
are
takes
nightmares?
practice.
Just a bad day.
Terrifying.
Hell.
Just a
really
bad-
sucky day.
Yeah, because all the weird things, you're like, oh, in a dream, that's weird. There was like demons and monsters. But then in real life, in the dream world, you'd be like, what? What weird stuff happening in this life? Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Okay,
We're
but
sitting
what
doing
if-
a
that people
podcast.
swim in,
Ah.
and people are talking in microphones for no reason.
There are old people. Weird.
Yeah, people age. Death is a thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here's a question though: when you in a dream, you never really die.
No.
You always wake up before you die. So what
Oh, just kidding.
what
That's
happens
the end
in
of
the
that
dream?
universe.
Is
Well,
it
you
the
die.
end?
You're dead.
No, but then you go
It's
back
the
right
end of
back
your-
into
Yeah,
the
but
universe
if
the
you-
next night.
The thing,
The
if,
end of your conscience in
Maybe
that
you
specific
maybe
universe.
reincarnation.
if it is,
Reincarnation happens, but this one stays consistent. Oh, same as if you died in this one. Oh, if you died in this one, your reincarnation would continue the stream of dreams that you've had in this. So if you
Well,
die in your dream world, you wake up here, you go back, and you're reincarnated into
Yeah.
another dream world.
Yeah.
But if you die in
Oh.
this world, you continue your dream world in
Don't
your
mind
other
me
yeah.
body
sitting on
here.
the ground.
That's interesting.
Ah.
That would mean that. That's
I wonder
I
if
like
people
that.
have come to these conclusions before.
Probably.
Probably.
We were so
They were
original.
probably
People are like,
higher-
what? This is like clearly the Dreamer-a-thon
Theory.
Has
theory.
Dream-a-thon
The
theory.
Dream-a-thon theory.
What
That's
about
what
dreams?
it's called now.
A re-dreamation.
We just made it up. The Dreamathon theory. Look it up,
644.
kids.
Why did I feel have the same dream more than once? Because I know I have like dreams like
It's like
repeatedly,
Then
but
it's
they,
a routine.
but they,
Oh,
but they
yeah.
change.
Deja
So like
vu.
I become like aware that I've had this dream before, and I just go through the motions or like something.
It's like a routine.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
But it's not
when
like
you're
a
with your
routine.
day-to-day routine, is everything exactly
Yeah,
the same
and
all the time?
sometimes I used to
No,
have a
but it's
recurring.
like the exact.
Yes, I used to have a recurring dream where I used to go through a haunted house all the time, and all the exact same like plot points, quote unquote, happened, and I used to have that dream a lot. And that'd be the same, even though you're like, that wouldn't be a routine. Why wouldn't it be? We don't know what happens that
If I may, it's deja vu.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, it would be more or less deja vu.
And if we're saying that anything goes in the other world,
Yeah,
then that goes.
yeah, because who says like Brody's saying, who says they have the same laws of physics as us? They probably don't.
Art is a lie. Nothing is real.
Back when
Perhaps you literally just did the same thing again because in the dream world you went back in time.
So
Because time doesn't flow in the same direction
time is
or
out of
linearly as it does here.
oh,
You could just go back to the beginning
Well,
of the same
technically,
day.
if it's
so when
spinning
you dream-
backwards, maybe you are.
Well, no,
No.
that's
Also,
just
I think-
it's just a.
I think when we were talking about nightmares before with the demons and everything, I think maybe if we're transferring it into like our like lives now as opposed to the lives in the dreams, like perhaps the demons that we're facing now are more internal, but then they're more external in our dreams.
Or
But
like-
they're the
they're
same
physical.
demons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
like-
I don't know though. I
they're
face
just
external demons
represented in
every
like a
day.
different way.
Like
go to
we're
class with all
interpreting
of
our
you.
dreams in a way that,
Like because we decided that we're the same person. We're just continuing on in a different reality, right? So the demons that we're facing in this reality are the same demons, except they're physical.
and because some people say that your dreams reflect how you're feeling,
Yeah.
so that would just be this dream is affecting how you're feeling
Yeah.
in your real life.
Then why do I always have like action-y dreams?
And you do?
yeah.
Well, then
As
for
you
that,
have an
it-
action pack.
Maybe you're a superhero.
Yeah.
In the
well,
alternate
that or it
reality.
could be considered
Finally.
if we're going on the idea that it reflects like how you're feeling. It could be that you're feeling either like
my
like
God.
awesome, or that you're really bored with your life, and so in your dream you're looking for excitement, and thus you have action movie dreams.
Also,
Bingo.
Yeah.
also,
Get it on
who
the
says we're all going to the same universe?
That's
in
what
the
I was
dream?
just thinking.
Exactly.
That would be so cool
Like,
though.
but
Like, if we could all
our
just meet up.
universes be different, but
Yeah,
when we wake up again,
But we
we
happen
all
to
end
all
up
be
in
here.
the same.
we happen to all be here in this universe together, and that's
Yeah.
what happened. And some people are not all in this universe, but they're all in the dream
So-
universe that we go to.
But then that
For-
could,
So we probably have a distinct group of friends, and they all go to that one. But
Oh
except we're all-
yeah.
Yeah, for example, like when I go to sleep, in my dreams, I will meet people and like in that universe, when we all go to sleep, we each go to a different universe while we're dreaming. But in like while this me is dreaming, they're in that universe and that's how those people live and they have their own
And-
separate
Yeah, but
dreams
who's-
and
What if-
stuff.
That also explains kind of why you know how you can only see people that you've seen before in this world. If it is a truly like a multiverse, then people would be the same people except with different reality happening. So that's why you're seeing the same people in your dream because you're around the same
So, okay,
location
wait,
and
it'd be-
everything like that. But that's not to say they have the same soul though. That's not to say they're
So-
being
But you keep
Yeah, but-
referring to the dreamscape as a single universe, as opposed to what I feel like it would be. And I don't know if you guys feel the same, but because there are such drastic differences almost every time, I feel like each different one would be its own separate existence.
that's what we just.
Yeah, that's
Shut
what
up,
we
you
were
know,
just
okay.
saying.
no. Well, okay, no, that's not what I was thinking. But
no,
I agree though. I agree.
What-
So why are you consistently coming back to this one, or are we?
Because it's.
Do we know that? Do we know what
We
consistently?
don't.
Yeah.
No.
Do
But
they-
this could
do
be a
separate-
constant stream in the same sense.
Because
that
when you
those
go
are
into the
constant
universe,
streams.
same kind of off the concept of last Thursdayism. You go into this universe and you have all the memories of growing up and everything, but you're actually not consistently coming back to this universe.
Yeah, why do these different universes have to be drastically different, like dreams and being
Yeah.
awake? Why can't it be only slightly different? So, maybe you wake up one day and, I don't know, I wanted to say the sky is purple, but that's pretty noticeable. But there's some slight difference that you
Like-
don't actually notice, but you're not in the same universe.
like
You're in a very similar
The
one.
sky's a different
like
tinge of
maybe
blue.
there's like another species of spiders in the rainforest that you would never notice, but there that is a difference from all the other.
Why you gotta go up and bring spiders?
It doesn't have to even be that. Like,
It could be.
I did that in this universe. There's another universe where I didn't do that. That's the only difference. In
Oh,
all
no, no,
eternity.
no.
Or
You're
a
not-
different universe where it made a different sound than that.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop this right now. We do not need to get into multi-universe theories because
We already have.
Let's
I know,
steer
but
away.
We've been
I'm too
there.
late.
No, I'm
We're
Let's
there.
steer away from metaphysics.
Yeah,
My
please.
head hurts. Just,
There's so many.
I think we're starting to lose people.
is
Should-
there another?
Should we move on to a different topic?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll
Or should we
get
move on
another
to a
topic
different
out.
universe?
Any last thoughts?
Emotionally-
Any last
Oh
thoughts?
yeah, I do.
Dreams
have a
are
last-
weird.
I have a question.
Dreams are weird. You have a question.
What about night terrors?
Night terrors.
Because a night terror is when
Yeah,
you're
I
not
used to have
aware.
night terrors. Yeah.
you're not aware that you're actually having it.
And you
But
don't,
you're
and you have
freaking
no
out.
memory when you
You
wake
have no
up.
memory when you wake
Yeah,
up.
I had night terrors like all
Yeah.
growing up.
My mom,
What would that be?
That's-
That we leave
Scary.
up to scientists.
yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
moving on.
That's for the
Yeah.
scientists in China.
Yeah.
Next up,
Who's dreaming about us?
let's talk. Let's talk. Okay, here's another kind of fact one that's just kind of strange that I was already talking to some people about, and I forget. I think it was you two about J.P. Morgan.
If it's a
Oh yes, about
Does
the-
anyone know who J.P. Morgan is?
Nope.
Yes.
Railroad?
You actually don't know?
Maybe.
Wasn't
I thought you
railroad
knew everything
type,
ever.
right?
I know a lot of stuff about
J.P.
a lot
Morgan
of
was
stuff.
like an investment banker.
Yes.
He was
Okay.
like one
yeah.
of the richest
He
people
sort
in
of
the world
founded
at one
one
point.
of the most powerful banks
Yes.
in the world.
Yeah.
That.
So at one time he was like the richest man in the world. I don't know if the world, but definitely one of the richest in like
When?
They based
in the
Monopoly
Americas.
off of him.
Like in
Yes.
yeah. The Monopoly was based off him.
Oh, so long.
He's
And I
the
do know
mustache?
who he is,
Yep.
totally. Hey, but the thing in Chicago.
Is a mustache.
He
That-
did
that's
what?
very
Was it
general.
the opera house and the on the river.
It's just
Prob-
the
yeah,
guy.
probably.
Yeah.
I want to hear
Anyway.
the quote.
Anyway, yeah.
Whatever.
This is just a story. Once back in like 1900s or whatever, when this was also, think about the exchange rate for money, he offered $100,000 to anyone who could figure out why his face was so red, and no one ever solved it.
Wait, say it again. I was.
J.P. Morgan offered $100,000 to anyone ever who could figure out why his face was so red, and no one ever solved it.
That's an assload
And
of money
nobody
for
knows?
them.
No one ever knew. He never told anyone. It was always a mystery.
Did
Why
he
is-
know?
I guess
I
he
bet
knew.
really wanted
He probably
to know.
wore blush a lot.
He was really
No,
confused
thank-
about
To
why
help
his
me.
face was red all
Please.
the
Well,
time.
that could be it. It could have been him stating a question like, "Why is this happening?" Or it could just be him being a dick, like, "You
I
guys
think
are
he
never
was
gonna
lying,
figure it
'cause
out."
The Monopoly guy is pretty white.
Wait, I'm sorry. He didn't say it to anyone. He just expected somebody to tell him why his face was red, and then
No,
offer
I
him
think
$100,000.
expected them
I think
to
he
he
knew, but
knew.
it was like a game. Like he's like,
Yeah.
come tell me why my if you can figure it out, I'll give you
It's like
100
painted in
100
it.
grand.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
no one ever figured it out.
Okay.
Dude, that would
Which
be
is
so
really
much
Why
strange.
fun.
wouldn't the doctor?
Why was his face always red?
If he
Because
really
he's an
wanted
asshole.
to know, I feel like he
Well, what
didn't.
I think he knew. I think
Would you
he
be
had
allowed to inspect him?
Was his
his dead body.
No,
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 like,
like no.
just
Yeah,
have
because I'm
to see
sure
it.
it's still
Why
Would
is
you
his
be allowed
face
to
red?
go up and meet him and like
Probably.
And
do
say,
a
"Hey,
physical,
Garrett's made
Fondle his face.
it."
Like,
Just-
Mr. Morgan, can I
This is
touch
it.
your face?
Yeah.
like ask
Yes,
him a
but
lot
Brody,
of
you would
interview
do
him.
that.
Yeah, bro. Very
Okay.
sarcastic, he'd
So
do
that wasn't really a topic. That was another
Feel
just
like-
fact. So we can move on to. I think this is our second last topic, which we might not even get to the last one. But this is a classic kind of ethics situation, and
Ooh.
it's
Is it the one about
is it one about what?
one about the train tracks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
I
getting
love
to that.
this.
Okay.
No.
So if you're
Yes.
it's really common. It's a
Oh.
really common one. But
Seriously?
we're gonna go with the not. Are you thinking of the one about switching tracks?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna go with that one. But it is basically the exact same concept. So if, for those of you who don't know, if a train was coming and you saw just 5 people standing on a track, really just standing there and they're not moving somehow, they're somehow stuck. There's 5 of them somehow stuck on train
It's
tracks,
really sad.
and they're gonna be hit.
Don't
You're
move.
standing there with a big guy, a big fat guy. You can push him on the tracks and stop the train, but you have to murder him.
All
He's
of us have
really,
heard this
really
except
fat.
for Nick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I
No,
told
I've
Nick.
heard it.
I told it
Oh.
this morning.
We
I
all
just
have
want to
this.
I just want to have a discussion
Whole
about it.
conversation in
No, I'm
philosophy.
just saying that we all know.
Do
So
you-
I'm
totally
related.
practical.
I-
in fact.
They don't know. They
I'd
want to
like-
hear our input.
I'd like to start this off by saying you can't do anything in that situation because A, you don't know anything about any of those people, like nothing at all. You know nothing of them, So making a decision just based off of saving 5 people and murdering 1 person, or saving 1 person,
Yeah.
and
But what if those
Like-
5 people were your friends?
No, but
also?
the circumstances aren't there. Like that, we don't know enough to make a decision.
And you-
Unless,
what if-
unless
But
you
if
go
he's
from-
fat
let's do
enough to-
this. They were your friends. Now what?
Well,
If
if you
he's-
go from a purely utilitarian standpoint, the idea is always you kill the least number of people
Yeah, exactly.
possible,
So you
no
would
matter
save them
what.
anyway.
So no, so you always kill the 1 person because you can save 5.
Or
But
That's it is a
We
certain
also-
philosophy. But,
if you want to kill the least amount of people, though, you don't do anything.
but then 5
but then
people die.
5 people die.
And
you
instead of 1, you can kill 1 person and save 5.
and then
Instead of
Or
you
kill 5
letting
and save
5
one.
die.
But
and
then
save
there's
1.
the also. Are we still going with the fat man thing?
Yes.
Because then there's also the possibility that the fat man might not die.
Yeah, because
Like there's so many
Maybe
different.
invincible.
There's
If
so many different. No, but if he's really that fat, that's
to
scary.
stop a train.
That, yeah, if he's gonna stop the train, like
He's
he might not die. Like, there's too many possibilities. You can't
Exactly.
make
Push
a
him.
decision.
There's-
I would
It's
push him.
basically this is
You
a.
can't.
What if they were? What if there were
Because he's
5
not fat.
rapists and murderers?
How do
That's
you
the
how-
thing. You
you
don't
don't
know.
know that.
You
You
don't
don't
know
know
the situation.
also, there's a fact, like, we're thinking of this in the moment, like saving 5 people or saving 1 person. What happens if you save those 5 people, and the fat man's wife, for some reason, kills herself, and then because of that, farther on,
Yeah.
their kid kills
Butterfly
themselves,
effect.
and it's just like
It's
it'll
a-
just keep on
even
going
not
and
death,
going.
it's just affecting people, like
We-
scarring
yeah,
them.
It'd be you're weighing the present versus all the infinite possibilities of the future, and you can't do that.
But then,
There's
But
just
those 5 people could have families that could kill
Exactly.
That's
them.
what
Yeah,
I'm
you-
saying.
so
there's
that is
too many
rendered
possibilities.
redundant.
Like, we don't know the circumstances and whatever. Like we don't know the future. Like it's just you can't make
But,
a decision.
but theoretically, if you were in that moment, you would have to make a decision. It's just there isn't a good decision.
There
Yeah,
is no good.
You just have to try to find the
But being
less
told
bad
right now
decision.
that these are
Whatever
your 3
you
options,
do-
you can't make a decision. You can't weigh them out. Like
But in the moment,
Either
if this
way.
actually happened, you would have to. You would have to decide.
Yeah.
Even doing nothing is still a decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay. The problem I have with the fat guy thing. Again, we mentioned it. If he's fat enough to stop a train, how are
He's
you
not
gonna
gonna die.
push him?
Yeah, that's what I was
And-
thinking.
yeah, I
too.
said that too. I
Yeah,
remember
exactly.
saying that.
How are you gonna push him? There's that.
And yeah, he could just take you and
What
throw
if?
you.
Okay, if you're
He
actually,
pushes you.
If you're, if
While
you're
you're
actually
considering
in
all
that
this.
situation, and there is just the fact that they're like, do you know for sure he's gonna stop the train? Because like, if it's
Probably
just like
not.
this kind of average
no.
fat guy, and
Tennis.
And then they all die.
No,
Trains
Just
go
kill
through
6
cars and keep going, so they're probably going to go through a fat
the
man.
whole point of this question, though, isn't about
Yeah,
the
he
logic.
just like explodes
No,
and they all
no.
die.
But it is about
Hold
that.
up.
It is.
Whoa,
And then the
whoa,
train
whoa,
derails and you kill so many people.
Okay. That's why the switching tracks thing is more logical.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's-
part of the question. That's a
I-
different
The
thing.
original question is 5 people tied to a track where the train is heading. There's a lever you can pull that will divert the train to a track where 1 person is tied.
Yeah.
Why don't you
That's-
just jump in front of the train?
That's the trolley problem
Yeah,
with
The
the
way-
original
That would be
version.
my choice.
Yeah, but
the way
because then
I
that's
see
less
it-
of a decision for you.
But then you
and
kill.
there's no guilt because everyone dies.
Yeah,
But then
there's
you
no
kill
guilt.
6 people.
Then
There's
oh,
no
yeah,
guilt.
still
The
killing.
way I see it is there are 4
Yeah,
options.
but there would be no guilt because he would be dead.
You
can
don't know
push
that.
the fat guy and he'll stop the train and the 5 people will live. You can do nothing and the 5 people will die. You can
Tell the 5 people to get off the train.
Yeah, I
You
would
can
just
tell them
yell.
You can
tell
push them
them
to
to
get
get
off the track.
No.
or
they,
you can
You don't have
push
enough
the
time.
You have
fat
the
guy
time
and
to
go
get the
with
fat
him.
guy
And
on
there
the
you
tracks.
But in
Get
the
off the
original-
track.
in the original
It's
trolley
not about,
problem,
it's not about logic though. Like
If they
you're
wanted,
assuming
you
that
know-
you can easily push the fat man onto the tracks, killing him and saving the 5 people.
But we don't
And
know
you're
if the
assuming
fat
that the
man's gonna
5
live.
people.
We don't know if he's gonna die. We
you're
don't know how big
assuming-
he is.
That's
You're,
really
no, but it's not about logic. It's just
It's
about.
about
But that's the
morality.
whole point is that you have to weigh out
Yeah,
what would you do.
Okay, so
How
you're
do you have
Superman,
ethics
but you
without
can't
logic? Yeah.
restrain the train.
No, that's a good point. How do you have ethics without logic? Like
But-
you,
well,
you
but
gotta
it's-
weigh it out.
it's a thought experiment,
Yeah,
which
it's-
means it's not to be taken.
Okay, then I wouldn't
literally,
choose
it's to
any
be
of those
taken as a
options.
moral
I would
question.
jump in front of the train myself.
See,
Yeah,
That's
but
a
then,
valid answer.
Yeah, it is.
So I
But-
wouldn't take any of the options.
but see, okay, and for Emily,
That mean wizard's back.
but okay, so Emily, you decide that you're going to, instead of doing all this, you're going to jump on the tracks, kill yourself, and then divide people that go with
Yes.
it. What happens when you go to heaven? You won't go to heaven because of that. You will end up in hell. If-
I don't believe
Yes.
that.
Yeah, but
That's
you
a
would end
whole
up in
different
hell if you
subject.
push your
Okay,
name in
yeah,
front of
that's
the
a whole
train.
Yeah,
different
we're not
subject.
okay. I
Yeah,
don't want to get
yeah.
into a religious
I
I'm just-
debate
don't
right
believe in
now.
hell.
Or we
So
can,
that's
or we
a
can
whole different subject.
reincarnated and we can't.
Yeah, we're
remember.
reincarnated into our dream universe.
You have some
what
really
is
bad
that?
cover
That
for
mean
doing
Yeah.
wizard
that.
is just a dick.
He's ruined
He
this
just
whole
keeps
podcast.
showing up and like
The evil
you
wizard
have
in
to
the
forget.
ghosts
You
just
gotta
keep
push
showing
this
up.
fat guy on the. I hate the mean wizard.
Yeah. Oh.
He's a saw.
Poor wizard.
He's like, oh yeah, just a weird.
Saw as a wizard.
That would be terrifying.
We would all.
And he just keeps like fucking with you your whole life, like he's.
Why are
Like,
you in
have
that
you seen the
situation
spoon thing?
anyway?
With
Yeah,
Train
the
track.
horribly slow
I'm never
death with
walking
the really
near a train track
incredibly
again.
inefficient
Yes.
traffic.
With a fat guy.
Get away from me!
Okay.
Every time you see a fat man,
Horribly
go!
slow inefficient weapon.
Yeah.
See, but then,
What?
see, but then Emily,
No
you
more
don't go near
associated
train
with
tracks,
that.
but then someone's going to come up with you an iPad and it's like, do this.
Yeah.
You have to choose now.
No, I would.
Sponsored by Mac.
Okay.
Microsoft Mac.
Sponsored by Microsoft Mac.
Micro Mac.
Thinking we should get into our last subject.
Macrosoft.
Yeah.
Macrosoft.
We made
Microsoft.
Okay.
Mackinsoft.
Well, this is the sad moment when it's our last topic.
You're our last topic.
I don't
Maybe.
wanna die.
Do we have a last topic?
Last topic for
Well,
today.
is it our last
Um,
topic, or if we kill 5 people, can we continue
well,
talking?
Oh.
If
There are
we-
more than
yeah,
fucking
if you
yes, so.
push a fat guy, we can
Who
get
would
the last topic, or
Yeah.
we can.
Not me.
Wait, we're pushing
So-
a factor.
We're pushing a fat guy. That's been decided.
Okay.
That's you can't avoid
Don't
it.
look
And
at me like
Emily's
that.
So-
baby.
That's
So
why
you
he
don't
does
want to
it.
be pushed in front of a train.
So
One
the
of
last
us is
topic
screwed.
is
Rock, paper, scissors.
not decided.
No.
Give me a second. I need to.
Rock,
read
paper,
it.
scissors, shotgun.
Well,
Well, we should not leave dead air in the room
Yes.
while he's
Kill
finding.
the-
Okay, wait. Well,
Can
while,
air
while
really
you
die,
find it,
though?
let's get back to the classic conversation of the group of what's better than sliced bread.
No, 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 no,
No.
no, no,
I
no.
feel like a
We're
lot
done.
of things are better than sliced bread.
Sliced bread with jam.
Not
Pre-sliced
past the
bread.
middle, though.
The dude in my English class last year, 2 guys did their ISU on the sliced bread thing, and so one was arguing why sliced bread was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and the other guy was arguing other things that were better since sliced bread. But actually, the sliced bread arguments were pretty good.
What, dude?
My dad
Sliced
has
bread-
this. My dad has this thing where he always is like, I'll be like, oh, Dad, this corn sucks. Like if he makes like food or something, and then he'll be like, yes, but it's better than cats.
Oh my
That's
god.
what he always says.
That's so good.
I'll be like,
But-
Dad, your food sucks. He's like,
But
well,
what's better
it's
than
better than
sliced
cats.
cats?
Oh, sliced
most
bread.
things.
Everything is better than sliced
A worm
cats.
in your apple.
Okay.
There's
What's
your
worse
answer.
than a worm in your apple?
I was gonna say
2
something.
worms in
You
your apple.
sick chism.
Yeah, you sick
Chisholm.
boy.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't have your
Boy.
fancy sliced bread. My neighbors just bring me fresh bread because they're nice people.
What's better than the bread
They're
slicer
almond.
at Metro?
Nothing.
I have a
Yeah.
conversation.
You can choose the
Okay.
thickness.
I have another one. I have another
I
one.
love
So,
last one
this
of the
is
night.
going to be our last one of the night, and it's going to
that's
kind
all
of deal
you're
with
after.
abortion,
Yeah, it's our
but
next one.
Oh yeah.
in a matter that's different, kind of. So,
We have a plan.
abortion obviously is a
Oh.
really controversial subject,
And a lot of
Which
people
is-
just clicked.
Yeah,
a lot of
Yeah,
people
a
just
lot of
laughed.
people left.
but no, it's not like a classic abortion argument. It's based off an existing ethics argument, and that is. Okay, I'll ask the ethics question first, and then kind of
Okay.
link it into the
Okay.
abortion. Is it morally wrong? Say somehow a couple found out, got access to some sort of time machine, and if they went back in time and did something to affect the situation that led up to the conception of the child, and they altered that so the child was no longer born, is that morally right?
It's a
Did
similar
they-
idea
okay.
too. Like,
I'm
is
just
it
gonna go
moral?
ahead and tap out right now.
Is it morally right to go back in time and say kill Hitler? Something like that, right? Because you're preventing millions of deaths, but you are irreversibly changing everything.
But if you go back in time and have Hitler killed, you wouldn't feel the need to go back in time and have Hitler killed.
Exactly.
Thus, you wouldn't go back in time.
I don't want to get into a
and have
paradox
Hitler killed.
argument.
That's a
And the
different
universe
argument.
would explode.
I'm not getting into a paradox argument. Let's say all paradoxes aside, yes, of course, if you did something, if you altered something, then you would have no need to go back in time and alter that event. That's fair. That's
Depending on the theory.
Depending on what
Would never
religious
happen.
belief you have.
It didn't exist after that.
Well, then you wouldn't know.
What I'm
Because
saying is,
Hitler died.
if you're going back in time to kill Hitler, that's a different thing than going back in time and just stopping people from having sex on one day or having a child. Because you're not physically killing someone, you're preventing someone
So
from
you're
ever being born.
preventing from your own kid from being born?
Yes.
Is it okay?
It's not.
Are you or your girlfriend? Is this the lady aspect of it? Is she pregnant or is the kid already born?
Kid has been born.
And how old is the kid?
It's just a downright mess.
They really don't want the kid. Like a couple of years.
It's like my parents.
And they're also geniuses.
Oh my
'cause
God.
made it
They
no,
work.
I wouldn't do it.
Why can't they just put them up for adoption?
Because
There's
they have
so
a
many
time
They have to invent time
But
travel.
Technically, it's not killing the child because they're just
It's
preventing it from being
unmaking
born.
Well, yeah, but
It's kind of like an uncooker.
It's not killing it.
it's not killing it, but that's so pointless.
Well, if he's like
Wow, how's
18 years old.
I don't know, Janice. Adoption is a really long legal process
Yeah,
that you have to go through, and
It's already
I think your
lived a
time
life.
machine
It's
is just
so
easier.
like,
Just
it's,
drop
Yeah,
their
but it
kids
would
off.
it would never have happened though.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
it
killing it. It's,
would have happened
No, it would have just.
Yeah, but
in a
That's
big
not how
time travel
travel
is just so much more simple. There's less paperwork.
Okay,
We can't
we can't talk about paradoxes.
Yeah, we
though.
can't think of time travel because it hasn't been invented yet, so we don't know the rules of time
It
travel.
will never be invented.
Yeah,
Okay,
the-
let's not think of time travel then. Let's just focus on the question, which is really stupid.
Oh,
It's a
that's,
stupid
I
question.
like the
Thank you.
question.
I
think it's
don't
fun.
understand the point of going back though.
It's
Don't think about it like that. It's
No,
another thought
If you
experiment.
just don't want to kill your kid.
Is
And
it
if you
morally
really
right
hate it.
to do that?
to make
No.
someone
When-
There's
not
your answer.
exist in the
Why?
first
I don't think
place.
so.
You have to explain.
Because
I don't think it's right to, because personally, I think after the kid, even though like whatever time travel put aside, that kid it's a presence now. That's what I think. It's a presence. It's been a presence. It's been developed. It sells, right?
so it's not
So,
like an
I
abort-
think-
yeah.
It technically is like killing.
but
so that's
it's
just- I'm just giving my opinion. That's just me. I'm tapping out.
I agree
It's
with Emily.
equivalent to letting
I'm
them
not
get
tapping
hit
out.
by a train.
I feel
Except
like
when they're
No,
getting
it's
hit by a
not-
train,
it's
they're
not
being
the
killed.
same.
Because you
It's
didn't
not
do
the same as
anything.
being killed.
Is there
It
a
would feel
difference
nothing.
between
It would be nothing.
There would be nothing.
non-existence
It would
and
just be
death,
nothing.
That's
essentially?
Non-existent.
That'd be like right now if I was like, if say there was another person here and before this I went
Who
back,
knows?
like during this whole conversation about this topic,
There'd be
there was
somebody
another
else
person here and I was like, let's do it, and I went back in time and I erased that person and now they're gone. We have no idea. They had no idea.
They have no idea either.
They're just gone. They
They would
just
not- they
never
wouldn't feel
existed.
a thing.
See, but no, that's
Now again, this is the time.
But I still
Yeah,
think
get
that
to
there's
this.
a
So it's
presence
morally
there.
wrong in this world. Oh, in this present day, it would be morally wrong to these people. But then once that, I don't know.
But no, it's
You
again.
can't not have the paradox argument.
Yeah, we
trying
can't.
to
We
talk
can,
about
yeah, we
this.
can't.
if you go back and you make that happen though, and you just go back forwards, that's an odd statement.
What does that mean?
Back to the future.
If you go,
Back to the Future.
if you go to the point where you left from to unmake that
Okay.
child, you would still be faced with the mental ramifications of knowing you unmade someone.
Oh,
That's true.
but if
Uh,
okay, now this is I
But
think with
you
the
wouldn't.
time thing. If
This
if
is how
you
abortion will happen in the
go-
future.
if you
Oh,
go back
how do you know
and
it doesn't
erase
already happen?
someone, then everything up to that point where that person existed is changed. So I think you being that person in that time
Is that a leaf?
time whatever strand wouldn't exist anymore, right? It would just be the person who didn't have the kid. So it'd still be you, but from like the past, and it wouldn't be like this person I am would not exist.
Yeah, and
then
you
it would
wouldn't
just be
know.
the other me.
You
And
wouldn't know.
and that's another thing. You would also pretty much be killing yourself. 'Cause
Yeah, part of
yeah,
it.
you're erasing
This
exactly.
self who
That's the
killed
same.
kid.
We're
Sorry,
linking
is
back into the other argument about reincarnation and
Your child
erasing
must
your
have been
memories.
really shitty.
Yeah, going
Put
all
through
through
all
all
this
this
trouble.
stuff.
Your child was literally
The child
Hitler.
was like a.
I was gonna say Hitler's
Yeah.
mom.
That's
That's
true.
horrible.
The child was like a troll, just like.
We are at 59 minutes, so are we?
yeah, we're gonna sign off pretty soon. Does anyone have any like stories or whatever? Because we're kind of ending on a really heavy topic. So if anyone has any,
I remember when I
Interesting.
scared myself with my own hands.
Oh, okay. I have a story. It's just a story.
Is it about a hockey helmet?
No. That
If we
already.
did that.
about the mean wizard.
No,
The wizard and his ghosts.
I was at. It's actually not that good of a story, but I'll say it anyways because. I was at canoe club when I was a little kid. I was like
Okay.
10 years old, and at the end of the day, we were playing ultimate frisbee.
Oh wow.
Thanks.
And I was running, and I was like looking up at the frisbee, but not looking where I was running.
Oh no.
And I ran into a picnic table. And I got into a
Smarter
like
than
The average bear.
Why were you in
gut-
a newspaper comic strip?
my gut hit like the seat, and I fell, and I was like on the ground. And it like
You must
one of
have
the
been a
most
tiny
painful
child.
things.
Yeah.
One of the most painful things ever. And then the people run over like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I'm like, and I couldn't breathe because I had the wind knocked out of me.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, the one girl was like, "Oh my God, is your arm okay?" And I was like, "What do you mean my arm?" And I look at my arm, and it's like cut from like the shoulder all the way down to my wrist. And I look at it, I'm like, ah.
So I feel like sharp benches should be illegal.
I did that when I was biking with Darren, a person who's not in this room.
Maybe
A
he's the
ghost.
one that.
Yeah.
He's
got
the
us.
one that we deleted.
Yeah.
We were biking and we decided, I don't know how stupid we were, because we were like, okay, we're biking. We're like, the first one to hit the picnic table with their bikes wins. Like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. So we're biking and I forget that we have to brake. And so I'm like, I'm going to win. And I go, bam! And my bike just tips over and I'm just on the picnic. And
Did
I
you
won.
win anything
I have
other
a
than a
No, I
broken
didn't
bike?
win. My sister won. She wasn't even part of the race.
Okay, going back to dreams.
Oh
I
my
have a
God!
story.
I thought we were talking about picnic tables.
No, we're going back to dreams.
I was just gonna say a cool dream that I have a lot. I have an unhealthy obsession with Hello Kitty,
We know.
and
You and my sister would get along for just that point.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
and I always have this dream, and it's usually after I've had like a really bad day or like a really long day, like it just goes on forever. I always have this dream of like Hello Kitty coming to me, like as like a I don't know, I can't explain
God.
it.
It's
But
your spirit
Kitty.
She
animal.
has no eyes.
Oh god.
Oh.
Yeah, and her mouth is like
Bye-bye,
a spiral.
Ah.
But she's really nice. Like she's not mean.
I'm
She's
sure.
really.
Ah.
But I don't know if she's a demon or not. So if you guys can
scary.
tell
Can you
me.
find
I
her?
can't decipher that.
I think she's nice because she had a good long day of eating people's souls.
Yeah.
I have something to
Nice
add
and
to this. Silence will follow when the question is asked. Okay, end this now.
What?
What's the question?
That was a Doctor Who.
Oh.
Exactly.
I don't watch
Doctor
Doctor Who.
Who wearing a Doctor Who shirt?
Nice.
So just to kind of end us off, I think we should talk about this man next podcast.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yes.
no, you're not talking about it now. But
yes,
yes,
we're not.
we'll talk about this man next podcast.
If you stuck around.
If you stuck around through all this time,
After the
I'm sorry
abortion,
for
when
you.
a lot of people left.
so after the abortion, after I referenced abortion, which we didn't even talk about, but
Oh, come
yeah,
on.
they didn't even talk about it.
Okay, wait, let's see. We got
We
abortion,
Angry wizard.
we got religion, and we got angry wizards.
So
And we got ethics.
Did we do politics?
That's gonna be
No,
the
we
name of
didn't.
this.
No,
We'll
we
get
didn't do
into
politics.
politics
next
next
time.
Politics and this man next time.
Next time. So
Next time.
everyone, thank
Next
you
time.
for sticking around. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is kind of a weird sort of format that we're doing with this. It was basically based off a group chat we were having about just random stuff like this,
Yeah.
and we kind of
Sliced bread
we
mostly.
had the it was about sliced bread, but we had the idea of kind of turning it into a podcast just because the conversation actually got pretty interesting at some points. So
Sometimes.
I really hope you enjoyed listening to it. And what was the podcast called again? Ontario 644. So thank you for watching Ontario 644.
It's
And
like a radio station.
and I'm gonna be doing a little bit of kind of marketing right now. Not really advertising, I mean, just because I want to put out this recommendation because I just watched the movie Drive for the first time a couple days ago, and I just want to tell you. So I just want to tell you that it's one of the most well-directed movies that I've ever seen. And if you're a fan of kind of like 70s retro movies, you should
He
really
definitely
watch it.
doesn't work for them.
I do not work for them.
We're teenagers, so we don't work for anyone.
Bear in mind
So,
that he is now
so
officially
thank you
professional.
for watching this,
Listening.
I forgot what we're doing. Thank you for listening to this podcast. This episode was sponsored by the Mean Wizard.